Piickle.
Oh,
What in the world happened? Where'd it go?
yo,
It didn't like me using
there
the
you go.
intro. It
There
did
we
not
go.
like me using the intro. Hello and welcome to another episode of With Enough Prep Time. I'm your host, the Nerd Man, and that teaches you never use Game of Thrones intro from HBO Max as your intro. So today I'm here with my man JG Shaolin. This is and my boy Philosophical Pickle, the Kingslayer himself. It's me, Hot Takes Tuesday, the Joffrey Baratheon himself of YouTube. And today we're going to be talking about Season 8 of Game of Thrones, a Game of Thrones that fans claim is so bad that Joffrey Baratheon himself may have written it. And I'm going to be defending why I don't even think it's that bad, bro. I don't even think it's that bad. And I've got some hardcore Game of Throners. We have Finya, who basically his everything's going wrong for me today. His comment has basically disappeared, but he said, why are we still talk? He says that people are still talking about Game of Thrones. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. I'm a passionate Game of Thrones fan, and so we will be having a passionate and impassioned discussion about Game of Thrones season 8 and why it was in my opinion not that bad, as I said. So let's start off with something I think we can all agree on about season 8, right? Something we can, all of us can say at least this was good.
what's up?
Bran becoming king, I think we can all agree that was the way the story should have gone the whole time, right?
No, we can't.
No, not at all.
You're way off, buddy.
Not at all.
I thought he was definitely the right choice in terms of, who we're going to, like, we've been watching the show the whole time. The little...
Bran the Broken is the king of... let's get in.
This is rant worthy. This season is rant worthy. Go ahead.
Well, genuinely, let's see if we can agree on anything that was good about this season first.
Okay. I was, as people probably noticed, I was being sarcastic about Bran the Broken. Yes,
I'm so glad to hear that.
Definitely. It's not the reason that I defend season 8. I mean, I'll tell you, like, from my point of view, just so it's my hot take. So just to explain the concept of this this show is it's called Hot Takes Tuesday. Every Tuesday, me and Philosophical Pickle and, perhaps guests are going to go back and forth on, a hot take that we have. And we're going to tell the world I'm going to tell Philosophical Pickle my crazy idea, and he's going to set me straight as to why I am absolutely insane.
Every week.
Every week. So, in terms of Game of Thrones season 8, just like I'll throw out a disclaimer on why I have this particular hot take. And the basic reason is that I'm going to look from season 5 onwards. So I think season 6 are definitely season 7. Those were not really good seasons, in my opinion, right? So why people decided to go and hate, like, throw all of this hate on season 8 as if that was like the worst thing that happened in this show is bizarre to me. All the things they were talking about in terms of the characters being fucked up, doing things that didn't make sense to their character, acting in ways that they didn't understand, setting up storylines that obviously weren't going to pay off. All of that crap was happening mainly in season 7, and you got a little bit of that in season 6. Season 6 was only saved by some fantastic finale episodes. But essentially, all of that was dry bullshit. And it comes down to one main reason: killing off characters that should have maintained for a couple more seasons. I don't care. It's not the books. So, and they were already diverting from the books, before. In my opinion, Joffrey should have stayed for another season because I think he was the greatest villain on TV. He was the most engaging thing about the show for the first few seasons, and killing him off when they did hurt the show. Sending Tyrion off to go on what was it called? Basically Tyrion goes off to meet Daenerys and is sold into slavery. From that moment on, from the moment even after the court case where Tyrion is kind of escapes because Oberyn dies. From that moment on, Tyrion was a waste. He was a shit character. He was nothing compared to what he was for the first 5 seasons. So when it comes to season 8, this is why I defend it. I felt for all the crap that it had, that Game of Thrones had become, season 8 wasn't that bad, bro. Season 8 was not that bad at all. I was actually pleasantly surprised. I watched it much later than everyone else. I'd already heard how bad this season was. And bar one exceptionally stupid element to the ending, I thought it was consistent. I thought it was relatively well written. I thought it was entertaining. And I didn't mind. I thought some of the endings were actually quite clever to these characters, bar that one.
Oh my god!
Bar the one ending with Bran the Broken. Bran the Broken broke me when he became king.
Wow.
That was the moment when I realized, I see what everyone's talking about with Bran the Broken. But it didn't ruin the show for me that he essentially got the throne. Didn't ruin everything. Before that, I was relatively engaged in what was happening. That's me, my little first beginning rant for why Game of Thrones Season 8, not that bad.
Wow.
Okay. You want us to jump in?
Yeah, I'll jump in on this one.
What you got, JG?
This is rant freaking worthy right here. Okay. Now, I'm going to make sure I heard you correctly when you said it just season 8 was kind of, it kind of went with the other seasons. There was nothing in season 8 that went along with any other seasons. Nothing. It was the best part of season 8 to me. I forget the character's name, but the one that was kind of Daenerys' bodyguard for the most part, till he got exiled and he came back later on.
Team Lannister. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I keep forgetting the guy's name. He had the best ending. The one that was he was Daenerys' bodyguard for the most part.
Jorah
Mormont. He had the best ending of all season 8. He died for his Khaleesi. I'm for it. I figured it would happen. That's the only way he should go. I'm cool with that.
That was the worst part. That was
not to me. It wasn't. Yeah. Not to me. It was. Look, the whole time his whole thing was, I will fight for my Khaleesi, and he died for his saving his Khaleesi. It was a beautiful moment. It was a beautiful death. I'm cool with that.
But it was ruined because fucking Daenerys was fucking Jon Snow. That should have been the moment that she realized she was in love. She actually shared the same love that he had. Like, we've been waiting all these seasons I shipped them. I didn't know if anybody else shipped them, but I certainly shipped them.
And
I was
never going
like,
to happen.
It was going to happen if it wasn't for Jon Snow.
Okay, at what point did you believe that Jorah and Daenerys would be together?
She said the most blasphemous words I'd ever heard in any fucking show ever. She said, after he died, and she's talking to Jon Snow, I'm not sure I even cared that he died. She said that to Jon Snow.
Well,
let me tell you why what was wrong with that, right? She was becoming the Mad Queen, but it didn't make sense because there was no progression to her becoming a Mad Queen. She was just, she's Daenerys, she's caring, she's a breaker of chains, mother of dragon. All of a sudden, I don't care about anyone but this throne, right? And maybe Jon Snow, maybe she was trying to butter him up so that he would be like, okay, you can have the throne. So that was her whole goal to begin with, right? Now, like I said, Jorah Mormont had the most beautiful death in the whole series and even season 8 to me. Okay, let's talk about something else. Daenerys. Let's focus on Daenerys real quick. Okay, Daenerys goes, gets all these Dothraki, and they run out into the night. You don't even see them get slaughtered. They just run out there like the screen was so pitch black. I didn't know what happened. I didn't know what was going on. And then, let's get to this. The writers and directors said,
wait. We have to go on.
No, because there's so much rant involved in this. There's so much rant involved in this season 8. It's pathetic. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, go on. Finish what you're saying, please.
I was going to say, I forgot what I was about to say. Anyway, like I said,
you're talking about the Dothraki.
Okay.
And then running into
the whole time was going out her way trying to get the Dothraki, right? What use were they? What was the point of even getting them? They died in the millisecond. We didn't even see them die because the screen is so pitch black. We don't know what was going on. All the characters up to that point, season 8, were nothing like we saw in every other season. Tyrion was useless. The unit guy, forget his name, useless. Yeah, even the people the actor didn't even want to do season 8.
He was terrible from the beginning. I don't want to hear anything about that.
He was not terrible. He served his purpose.
Varys was trash. Varys, that's my other hot take. Varys is a trash character. I was happy that he died. I was happy he died. So I couldn't wait. My fingers were aching for fucking Daenerys to fucking set that bitch on fire, man. This guy,
you gotta be kidding me.
This guy was a fucking. This guy was a snake, bruh. Like every single king, every king he served. Oh, I'm doing it for the realm. I'm doing it for the realm. Always betraying each fucking king. And then he had the blasphemy to come out of his mouth to actually say, like basically. What's his name? Jon Snow. Jon Snow should be fucking ruler of the kingdom just because he has a penis. That's basically what he argued.
He didn't.
Jon
Snow is an honorable man.
Jon Snow's an honorable man. Jon Snow's
he was an honorable man,
and
he
held the whole show down
for the throne.
Every time it went to Jon Snow's fucking storyline, the whole show dipped in quality. He was not the ruler. But
he was a rightful heir to the throne.
He's a rightful heir. Khaleesi, the breaker of chains, the whatever of the great grass seed.
Mother of Dragons, the Unburnt, the worst character in the show.
The best character. Shut your whole mouth, philosopher.
We're gonna get into this. Daenerys,
the best character in the show. One of the greatest TV villains of all time. Absolutely fantastic. Daenerys Stormborn.
I'm about to explode.
One of the greatest, most smartly written villains of all time. You didn't even know you were watching a villain when you were watching her. She is one of the great villains of all time, and I'm going to argue it right here, live on Hot Takes Tuesday.
Okay, so
give me a second after all that.
Give me a second to rip into his ass, JG.
Go ahead, get him. Get him.
It's unfathomable that those words just came out of your mouth. Okay, where do I start? The whole downfall of Game of Thrones happened when they clearly delineated from the books, and they admitted themselves that once the books ended, they didn't really know where to take the characters. You saw a dip in, I agree with you, a dip in quality after season 4 was obvious. But this was the epic climax. This was the climax of a show that people have been watching for like 8 years. This was every character is coming together to fight the big, long, great winter. Who's going to get the throne? Everything is coming to its conclusion. And it was 6 episodes of garbage, of nonsense, of character assassination. Yes, the characters were kind of different and poorly written in seasons 5, 6, and 7. But we had some good character development. We had some good action.
Give me an example. Give me an example of the good character development from, apart from maybe Cersei, who was amazing the whole way through.
Okay.
She's the only character who was amazing all throughout the shows. And her and Daenerys.
Now Tyrion became kind of dumber, but he had to accept the fact that he had to go to this other country. It was completely foreign to him. He wasn't this Lannister anymore who could get whatever he wanted because he was rich. He had to kneel to Dany. There was some character development for Tyrion.
That was good character development.
John,
I'm giving
you some examples.
Character development. All right, go on.
Theon being held by Ramsay, getting his fucking dick cut off, being tortured. Then in the final season, you want to see him get redeemed with the Ironborn. His sister, Jon. Daenerys is terrible. I'll get to Daenerys in a little bit.
All right, we'll get to Daenerys.
Varys in the background scheming. The Hound goes on this whole side journey where he learns to be a better person.
All right, the Hound was good.
Brienne, she's trying to struggle with the fact of, should I be a knight? Should I not be a knight? Whose side am I on? Should I Sansa getting raped, all of that. It's character development. Arya going off to do the face thing, which she never uses in season 8. These characters go on these journeys about family, about diplomacy, about murder, about these epic storylines. And every time it cut to Jon, the whole thing of this show, the whole reason that this show exists.
Every time it went to Jon, the whole thing dipped.
So Jon's whole story through the show was setting up the Night King, setting up the long winter. Ned even says in the first episode, winter is coming. They set it up.
Yeah.
So when he merges with the other side, the actual Game of Thrones plot, you're like, oh my gosh, these characters are coming together for the first time. The whole point of the show is that we have to put these squabbles, these petty human squabbles to the side and fight the great war to save the planet, to save humanity. Humans won't be here anymore if we don't stop the Night King. That's the whole point of the show. And they kill the Night King in one episode and then make the rest of the fucking show become the petty squabbles again. It's ridiculous. And I'm going to go through how every single main character not only was shit on, but assassinated.
All right, let me. You've talked in real big generalities, no specifics here at all. A philosophical pickle. I have to tell you. All right, I'm going to give you some specifics. Okay,
I got to hear this.
So basically, no, I'm not saying like you. It sounded all great what you said. Like it really did. You had like as always, you were able to paint a picture almost, but. At the same time, I didn't get any specifics here. You talked about characters. You talked about characters having like these, because I want to talk really about season 8. But you talk about characters having these, how would you say, satisfying story arcs that you wanted to wrap up. I'm sorry, everything to do with Ramsay was almost bullshit. Everything to do with Ramsay. And to be fair to Alfie Allen, he sold that whole fucking relationship with Ramsay. That was one of the problems with the show because Joffrey died. Joffrey was a great villain. Joffrey was played well by a great actor. Then you had this cartoon character in Ramsay who nothing bad really ever happened to him. And then you're supposed to sit there bored. I'm sorry, he was boring in comparison, and watch him do like whatever the writer thought, and this is, I think, goes back to the actual book. So to be fair to the creators of the show, I'm not blaming them, but this goes back to the actual books. There was an actual deficit left in the show when Joffrey died in terms of villainy. He was great. Obviously, Cersei was amazing, and that was the one good thing about Joffrey dying, was that Cersei could then reach her full potential and not have to cower under her own son the whole time. And then I think she benefited from it, and she's such a fantastic actress that it kind of worked for her. But in terms of that plot line, as I was saying, just the plot line you were talking about with Alfie Allen, with Sansa getting raped, with all of that kind of stuff, it was just more of an inferior wannabe Joffrey that just didn't work as well for the show because the actor wasn't as good, the character work wasn't as good. He kind of he's so obviously this mustache twiddling villain that it didn't work until Battle of the Bastards, when it became a little bit epic with that payoff.
Oh,
a little bit.
Hell yeah.
But I'm sorry. Yeah. Even the Battle of the Bastards is not as good as the episode that followed the whatever of Baelor.
The Sept of Baelor?
The Sept of Baelor episode was fire. That was the better episode out of the two. I'm sorry. I'll argue Battle of the Bastards was good. Sept of Baelor, for me, much better, much more entertaining. But again, that's because you're dealing with the big problem. All right, let me just go into my big problem, right? With season 7 is a joke. Season 7 is where it all fucking
I
goes
completely
wrong.
agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Season 7's where it all goes wrong. So I was already set up for like a certain level of disappointment going into season 8. And then I was like, oh, okay, it wasn't as bad as everyone's going on. And season 7 really fucks up when it starts trying to put this artificial relationship between Dany and Jon Snow together, right? That relation, they had as much sexual chemistry as fucking cousins, man.
And they have as much. We have more sexual chemistry.
Me and you, Mr. Piickle, have more sexual chemistry. I'm glad you're finally admitting it.
Yeah.
Than Dany and Jon Snow, right? And it all rested. I feel like a lot of the story rested. The main story rested on this awkward relationship. I honestly thought like it was watching cousins trying to like get together, or even a brother and sister. Even cousins have more heat than they have.
Well, I mean, isn't he her uncle?
I think they are.
Right, and then he turns out to be her uncle. And this is another thing.
They're related.
That whole revelation that Jon Snow was was really what are they called? The Targaryen. Yeah, he was a Targaryen. Miss me with all of that bullshit. I don't care. That was a terrible reveal that he was no. All of that was terrible. I don't care if it's in the books. I don't care if it's alluded to. This is a TV show. And they'd already, from the Red Wedding, they diverted from the books because apparently in the books, I'm reading them now, the mother actually survives that whole thing. So they'd already diverted from the books. So
I think she dies, but she comes back as like a zombie lady.
Yeah, you talk about what they call her?
Lady
the Gray or something. Yeah,
the best Stark character apart from Ned Stark, my baby. What's her name?
No. I'm sorry.
One of the big reasons why everything even went down.
Shit, what's her name? I forgot her name.
She's one of the best actors in the whole show.
Dude, I loved Ned Stark.
Ned Stark, but his wife was fucking great as well. What's her name? I just said her name a couple hours ago to my girlfriend. Is it Lena? No. Oh, Catelyn Stark.
Catelyn
Stark, yeah.
My baby Stark. All right.
So why is season 8 better than season 7? Because I think it's far worse than season 7.
All right, I'll tell you why it's better than season 7.
You give me some good examples of character development and the characters' endings.
All right, look. Basically, everyone is basically every character that is in season 8 ends as they should do, apart from Bran the Broken.
Okay.
Almost every character ends like they should do, apart from Bran the Broken. Daenerys becoming the Mad Queen absolutely makes sense. For the roundness for the roundness of her character, it makes sense. Should it have been developed better during season 7? Should they have focused more on that rather than this stupid relationship? Absolutely, 100%. They should have. Let's focus on, doing some fan fiction fucking bullshit between Danny and what's his name, and more focus on the relationship between her and Jorah mending, and the relationship between and her becoming the Mad Queen, and how Jorah is going to react to that. That is what should have been happening in season 7, rather than this whole bullshit romance between her and Jon and this stupid revelation. I'm sorry, again, I don't care what anyone says. It may be in the books, I don't know, but the stupid revelation that Jon was her uncle, or she was his auntie, or all of that bullshit was trash. In my consideration. So they should have focused on her becoming the Mad Queen. And actually, she pulls off, even though it's underwritten, what's her name pulls it off, who's another great actress, by the way, very underrated in this role.
Emilia Clarke?
Emilia Clarke, very underrated. She's in the top 10 actresses of this show. I don't care. Obviously, she's not on the level of the actress who plays Cersei, but she's in one of the top 10 actors in this show, and I'll argue that easily.
She is nothing more than a fan favorite. That's it. Her acting skills are not that great. Her
acting skills were fucking dude. She was epic.
Dude, Arya
so many
Stark
times in the show.
Was a better actress than she was in this whole thing.
No, Arya Stark was not a better actress, but she was a good actress. She was a good actress. Can I? Yeah,
let me say one sentence. I'll let you continue. I did nothing last time. I won't not do anything again. Boom. That's a line from season 8. She's garbage.
All right, whatever. I don't even know what that line is.
I will help you once you bend the knee. If I had a dollar for every time she said bend the knee through episodes to season 7 and 8, I'd probably have $10,000 right now. Bend the knee.
All right. Look. Let's go on to something less controversial, okay? The Hound ended exactly as he should have.
Fan service.
What do you mean fan service?
Dude, people were begging for the Clegane Bowl and they fucking got it. And dude, that was so cheesy.
And it was so cheesy. He fell into the flames. It was the thing that he feared most. He fell into the fire. That was exactly again, if you're talking about storytelling, right? On a storytelling level, I'm looking at Daenerys. I'm thinking, where's this character's going to go that no one's expecting, that's going to be a little bit of a twist? We've already kind of been foreshadowing this Mad Queen. Her dad was the Mad, and all this time she's been the breaker of chains, this liberator, whatever. But her main goal, even beyond all of that, the main thing in her life was going after the Iron Throne. So that turning her crazy, turning her mad, that kind of makes a little bit of sense in terms of the story. The Hound falling into the fire. The one thing that drove him was revenge against his brother, plus his fear of fire. What happens? He returns to the fire, just like what burnt his face. The Kingslayer, obviously, goes through various different. Don't do it. The Kingslayer.
I'm just making faces for now.
The Kingslayer, basically, what happens to him? He's basically always loves Cersei. That's his main goal. His love of Cersei is the one thing that drives him. And what happens to him? He has this chance of redemption, and he can't take it because his love for Cersei is too much, and he returns to Cersei and dies in her arms. Perfect ending. Cersei.
Oh my God.
Cersei.
The blasphemy.
Cersei, the most hated villainess in all of TV. Everyone wanted her to get her comeuppance in the worst possible way. Like, we wanted to see her, her death be like the most torturous death ever, right?
Yeah.
But it's more subtle. It's more beautiful what they did with Cersei. They were like
beautiful.
The one thing. the one thing that drives her is her love of her children. She finally, all of her very love of her children have poisoned her children and killed all of them. But she has one more chance. She's pregnant. What happens with that pregnancy? Because she finds out she's pregnant. She's even pregnant by the man she loves. What happens? The most torturous possible thing that could happen to her. She dies pregnant, realizing, just obviously the tower falls on her, but she dies pregnant, knowing that her one goal in life, to have her children ascend and be rulers of the kingdom, is never going to happen to her. That's a perfect ending.
Oh my God.
No, I can go into it. If you cut off that final, basically, if you cut off the final episode where Bran fucking becomes king, I think you've got some relatively good endings and satisfying endings to a lot of these characters. It's that Bran becoming king thing. When Bran becomes king, that's where it all goes to fucking pot. Now Tyrion, I'll take Tyrion. Tyrion's fucked up in this whole season, but he's fucked up since season 6, bro. There's no fucking, you cannot tell me Tyrion, the greatest character. Everyone loved him. I loved him. Everyone loved Tyrion. There's no doubt about it. He was, I might say Joffrey's my favorite character. You might say somebody else. Who's your favorite characters, by the way, just out of interest?
Tyrion's my favorite.
Tyrion's your favorite.
Tyrion and Ned Stark.
Okay,
and
Ned
then
Stark.
Jaime.
Everyone has their different ones, but the one thing that's the connective tissue is that Tyrion is one of the greatest characters of all time, right?
Hell yeah.
But he was ruined after he left that fucking... After he killed his dad, from that point on, he was trash, bruh. So I don't want to hear that season 8 ruined him. Season 8 didn't ruin him.
It didn't.
He was already on a trajectory downwards. That ain't on season 8. That's on the rest of the seasons. And yeah, so as I said, there were really poetic endings to a lot of these characters. Michael Arya Stark, I think I loved what she did in this season. I don't care if it was supposed to be the showdown between fucking Jon Snow, and everyone had a hard on for Jon Snow killing the king or whatever. But
that's some bull.
But Arya Stark killing him made much more sense. I was like, yeah, go Arya Stark.
I'm about to leave.
Jon Snow doesn't even deserve it for boring me to death.
Shitting me.
For boring me to death for fucking 7 or 8 seasons. Jon Snow and his fucking brother Bran the Broken can go fuck themselves.
I agree about Bran, dude.
For 8 seasons, they bored the shit out of me, and then you want him to get the big victory? Fuck him. All right,
at least have him come face to face with the Night King. That would have been nice. Maybe fight him a little bit. That would have been cool. Maybe have the Night King fight somebody. What if you had Darth Vader in the original trilogy not fight anybody in the last movie? They just didn't fight. And then Han Solo just shoots him in the face. Get out of here with that.
He fought the dragon. What are you talking about?
Come on. The whole thing
fought the dragon.
JG, let's rip into his ass.
Let me start out with Cersei and the beautiful ending. All the shit she did from episode 1, season 1, up to that point. All the people she's killed, she's manipulated, she put in bad situations. She wanted to kill her own brother Tyrion, right?
Yeah.
And you give her a beautiful death, yet the Stark kids that died had a horrific death. Come on, bro.
It wasn't Game of Thrones.
Come on.
It didn't feel like Game of Thrones. None of the deaths felt like Game of Thrones.
Wait a second. The worst death on the whole show was Joffrey Baratheon's. That was the worst death in any of the... You want to talk about Cersei getting it easy. How did Joffrey Baratheon not get it easy?
That motherfucker
choked for like 30 seconds.
Joffrey was an evil person out of control. It got to the point where even Cersei couldn't even control him. He did whatever the hell he wanted. He was a spoiled brat. Yeah. Right? He deserved the death he got.
No. It was You've
violent.
argued two things. You said he deserved to die, and you've conflated that with he deserved the death he got. He deserved to die. I agree. But he deserved a much better death than that. That
He
was
deserves to be
Okay,
skinned.
explain to me what death he should have gotten.
He deserved to be like Ramsey Bolton, to skin him alive and put him on a
Right.
plank. Like he does. That's a complaint I hear, that his death wasn't as good enough for his evil character. But at least it was kind of violent. He was turning purple, bleeding from his eyes. He was choking. Cersei had some nice little pillows fall on top of her head.
Exactly.
And then when Tyrion finds her body, she's not even crushed.
While she's pregnant.
Who gives a damn?
Maybe that would work.
Who cares? How many pregnant women has she killed
Sorry,
from
go on,
season one,
philosophical
episode 1 to now?
Sorry,
I mean,
we're getting passionate. Philosophical pickle.
So
Go on.
all of these things that you're saying, maybe they would have worked if 2 or 3 seasons worth of plot wasn't shoved into 6 episodes. I didn't care she was pregnant. She had less than 50 lines in the whole season. She didn't talk for the last episode. Cersei was completely ruined. Let me tell you how. Let me tell you how each character was ruined real quick. Jaime fucking Lannister, the Kingslayer, the fucking Kingslayer. Woo! They slayed him. Character assassination. His whole character is based on the fact that he killed the Mad King. He's a piece of shit. People hate him. He's a fuckboy, but he did it for the people. He reveals to Brienne that he was crying and shaking, telling her that you think that I want these people to die. I killed him to save everyone. He was going to kill King's Landing, burn them, and I saved everyone. Deep down inside, that's why he's a great character. He's not two-dimensional. He loves Cersei. He's a Lannister. He's loyal to it, but he loves the people because he is one of the people. He has some good inside of him. Then I get that he loves Cersei, but he tells Brienne, or he tells either Brienne or Tyrion in the last episode, I never really cared much for him. Bull fucking shit, you didn't. You killed the fucking king and became the Kingslayer for the people. They assassinated Jaime, and then he gets to go hug Cersei, and then some rocks fall on their head, and then when Tyrion goes to find their bodies, they're not even crushed because they have to show their perfectly beautiful faces because it's in the actors' contracts that all the fucking deaths in this season were nerfed. That's Jaime. Do you have a rebuttal to that?
Yeah, I do.
They shit on his head.
All right. First of all, let's all agree that the worst villain ever. Ramsay was. I was being a bit exaggerating about Ramsay. The actor was good, but he just wasn't as good as Joffrey, and it pissed me off. So every time I was watching him, I just saw him as a bit of a cartoon villain in comparison to Joffrey, who was a genuine, drawn-out psychopath.
Let's talk about Euron.
But the worst one was what is it? The Greyjoy. Euron fucking Greyjoy. Oh my god. I was just like, from the moment he came into the show, it was terrible. And the fact that Jaime had to lower himself to have that as his final boss, and that he even managed to like do anything to Jaime. Jaime should have just slashed his head off like straight away, like just slashed his head off. So I admit that element of the Jaime story, that conflict, that the fact that my baby girl Cersei actually slept with that motherfucker, it destroyed me. I was like, geez.
Well, she was using him for his armies.
Yeah, she was using him for his armies, but still, I can't see Cersei going down like that. But anyway, all right, she did it. He did it. Like that whole storyline again. That was a hangover from what season?
Well, see, we can say that season 7 and 8
that's right. Season 7.
They're both garbage.
So, in terms of what you were saying just then about Jaime Lannister. Like, oh, what did you want to happen? Did you want him to be, I'm a hero now, and I'm just going to stay with Brienne of Taylor? Is that what you're trying to say should have happened?
Well, I think that it was some bullshit fan service that they had sex, because that was not cool. That anything better than this. I think Jaime. Let me gather my thoughts. I wrote a really cool ending for Jaime one time, and I kind of forgot. But so I accept that he went back with Cersei because that's his character flaw, that he loves
exactly
his sister. Okay, but just take out that one line where he says he doesn't care about people. That ruined his character because his whole character, he's only 3-dimensional because he did one single thing in his life that was good, saving people from dying from fire. And now he's saying, nope, I just don't really care about him. I'm going to go fuck my sister one more time. It just completely shit on his character.
Dude,
I love Jamie until that moment.
You're getting it all wrong, though. You're getting it all wrong. You're reading text and you're not reading the subtext. Of course he cares about people. Of course.
He says he doesn't.
So what? Everything you say, is that what you mean? Everything you say that comes out of your mouth about yourself. You never say something to somebody in a moment of heightened anger or desperation or whatever that you don't mean. He didn't mean it. He was just saying it so he could, so that Brienne wouldn't feel so bad about him leaving her. That's why he said those words to her, because he wanted Brienne to feel like, like he's an asshole. When you're in love with a girl or whatever, but you just need to get away because you need your fucking independence. So you say some shit to her to make her feel like you're a fucking prick when you're not. That's what he did. That was the whole fucking point, and that was the beauty of how he played the story, because you knew.
Oh my God.
He's a great actor. Again, another one of the great actors of the show. He played it so well because you knew, you could feel that, of course, this was tearing him apart, and he actually did care about her. It's just he cared about Cersei that much more.
You're adding character development. So every line in every movie now, we're supposed to say, you didn't really mean that. Every line that Wonder Woman says, we're supposed to say, no, you're a liar. Like, it's in the dialogue. It was supposed to be this big, great moment that he picks Cersei over everybody. Why did they add that line? I think you're stretching so hard right now to make that a good moment.
I am not stretching. So you've admitted that basically I'm right. Your whole ideology on it has changed, and you realize the glass just smashed. It was like, oh, okay, yeah, it was subtext and it was smarter. You know that's true.
No, then we can add subtext to every line of every movie ever.
In that, Shaolin, I know you're going to go on his side, but tell the truth. You realize that moment when I explained it, that is exactly what was going on in that scene.
You literally influenced me to go on your side with that. Nerman, I got to go with you on that.
JG,
I'm sorry, I got you. But
thank you.
Jaime Lannister's story was a story of redemption. He was a sister fucker. He was, I won't call him evil, but he was just a bad person. He was a Lannister. That's what they were known for, right? Besides Will.
He attempted to murder a kid.
Yeah. And he tried to murder a kid, right?
And I wish he did. That was the most awesome thing he did in the whole show.
I'll be honest. If Bran had listened to his mother and not climbed up that damn wall, none of this stuff would have happened, right? For the most part. But Jaime Lannister, once his hand is cut off, he's more humanized now. He's a story of redemption. He becomes a better person. He wants to be a better person. Cersei is his kryptonite, yes. But
exactly.
You start seeing a point where I forget the big, huge, giant woman. I forget her name.
Brianna Taylor.
Brienne, yeah. When him and Brienne, you see this relationship developing, and that's what I hated about it. Yeah, he got a chance to knock her off. She's no longer virgin anymore. But he runs back to Cersei. Running back to Cersei, they have a beautiful death. What the hell?
Because that's what 13-year-old girls want. They wanted to see them hug and get rocks fall on them. They died together. Yay! When does Game of Thrones ever give us death that we want?
Nobody wanted to see that. That's not true. Anyway, go on.
Exactly. And let's talk about another character here, who is probably one of the best characters.
Go on.
What's up?
Go. One of the best characters. Carry on.
One of the best underrated characters in the whole thing. Didn't say much, but when he was there, he was hilarious. He was believable, and that was the squire or the stupid squire for Brienne. What's his name?
Oh, Pod.
Dip, Pod. Yeah.
Pip, Pod, or whatever. One of the best underrated characters in the whole show.
All right, we're going to take JG Shaolin has obviously had a bit of a stroke. We will be calling for medical attention. One of the best characters of the show, man.
I was just trolling. Look, he gets no love at all. So I had to throw him in there somewhere, right? But I mean, look, like I said, Jamie Lannister's character is a story of redemption, right? He done bad. Okay, now he's trying to make up for it, right? Did he deserve to die? Yes, because you have to pay for what you did. But I would have
Mm.
rather him die trying to protect someone like a Brand or somebody like that, as opposed to I'm going back to Cersei and I'm going to hug her and tell her I love her. We're just going to die under pebbles or
All right,
rocks.
all
I
right,
can
all
give
right,
you a
That was
better ending for
retarded.
Jamie
all
real
right.
quick.
Okay, go, please.
So I just remembered. I think that the Cersei thing is fine. I understand that that is his tragic flaw, and I would have liked that he became the Kingslayer. He came to the North. He fought the White Walkers. He fought the Night King or whatever. He helped them defeat it. Now he's done. He's going to go back to Cersei, but he doesn't give the. I say take away the line where he says he doesn't care about people. He knows that Daenerys is going to beat Cersei in the battle, so he has to go see her at least one more time. He travels there as Arya is traveling there. Arya is traveling there to kill Cersei. They arrive at the same time. And in that moment, before Arya is going to kill her, Jamie protects her. And I think Arya and Jamie should have fought. And because he doesn't have his dominant hand, Arya should have killed him. That would have been a much better and made much more sense for the story instead of the Hound saying, you know what, Arya, I know we just took days to travel here, but you shouldn't kill Cersei. And her go, okay. And just walk away. Like she should have been the one to kill Jamie. It would have been like not satisfying enough that it made sense, but not so satisfying that it's wrapped up in a bow.
Yeah, that's actually quite good.
Something like
okay.
that.
That is quite good. But to be fair, so's the other thing. I'm not saying like I think that's quite good. I'm not gonna lie, that would have been quite good. I think that Arya deserved the final reckoning with somebody. With I think she should have managed to somehow kill Joffrey. I would have liked that. I think Joffrey should have lasted another season somehow. I don't know how, but like I would have liked to see that.
That would have been nice.
Because he didn't get enough screen time at all. As on a real level, like the actor who played him was just really fantastic. But that's not the argument today. The argument today is about season 8. So let's go in a couple more things about season 8. Because we've done Jamie now, and I agree with you that ending that you just pitched was probably a really good ending. That was a really good ending.
I appreciate that.
The ending that happened was not as good as that.
Hey.
I'll give you that. It was not as good as that. But I don't think that makes it a bad ending to his story. And I do think the thing about him not caring, my interpretation of that is, I think, correct. But go on. What's your next thing? What's a couple more the big things about
Jon
season
Snow?
8?
Yeah,
You might not like Jon Snow, but he's one of the main characters. He's been set up as the prince who was promised. He was brought back by the Red God or whatever the god's called. He was brought back from death, which doesn't happen to everybody, but it only happens to some people. Game of Thrones wants to get away from the tropes, but at the end of the day, they still have the trope of like the chosen one getting brought back for a reason.
Yeah, the resurrection.
Jon Snow was brought back only because is it the Red God or the Sun God? I forgot what it's called.
The Red God, probably.
The Red God.
Sun, hell, I don't know.
Something.
Yeah.
Brought him back.
I know the Fire God or whatever. Yeah.
And he had so many great moments, like him being the leader of the Night's Watch, having to make these hard decisions, the Battle of the Bastards against Ramsay. He was a great leader. He fought the Night King at Hardhome. He stares down the Night King twice, setting up this epic battle like Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader. And then he screams at a dragon and then gets banished back to the Night's Watch. What happened to him being this big chosen character? He doesn't get to fight the Night King. And I know that I'm asking for to be my expectations subverted, but then I also want things that I want. So it's kind of hypocritical to ask for things, but we also want it to be classic Game of Thrones where they don't give us what we want. But son of a bitch, they didn't set up anything harder than the Jon Snow. Oh, my phone. They set up Jon Snow versus the Night King more than any other story in the whole show, and he doesn't even get to fight him one time. Not only that, the Night King doesn't fight anybody one time. The Night King forgets about the spears that he has. He stabs Theon in the gut. See, now this is making me dribble off into the final battle. At the end of the day, Jon Snow kills Daenerys, which I think makes sense. And Grey Worm and the Unsullied, instead of doing what the Unsullied would do, murder him on the spot, they become diplomatic all of a sudden and take him as a prisoner. Are you serious? And they give him a trial? And then they decide you can just go back to the Night's Watch.
Crazy. That was crazy.
And he, after all of this, Night's Watch, Night King, these battles, all this crazy shit that happened to him, he just goes back to the Night's Watch and walks off into the woods. They shit all over Jon Snow. They shit on him. And people who like me, who really love Jon Snow, he got nothing. And he literally, all he did in the whole season was go, my queen, she's my queen. She's my queen, my queen. And one more thing on Jon Snow that I'll let you go, JG. When she is burning the fucking city, King's Landing, murdering children, I don't care if Jon Snow is loyal to her. Jon Snow, Ned Stark, fucking Robb Stark, they would right then and there stop it. He stares at it going, what's going on? I'm just going to let this happen. He just sits in disbelief. That's not Jon Snow. They neutered him. They neutered Jon Snow for Daenerys' character. They made him a bitch to put Daenerys on this platform, and Daenerys sucks. They shit on Jon Snow, they shit on Jaime, and they shit on every other character.
Shut your trash. What are you talking about? She sucks. I was with you until you started going on about the Breaker of Chains. The Breaker of Chains is 20 times the character Jon Snow.
I'll give you one sentence on why she sucks. One sentence. She is and I don't say this about every woman character. I don't care if she's a woman or not. She is a character who is only good and only makes it far in the world because of the men around her. She does nothing of substance in the whole show.
Are you fucking kidding me? She comes up with loads of plans, loads of strategies that fucking work.
Let's save people. Let's save people. How do I save people? Let me get someone smarter than me and stronger than me to help me save people. Her plan is to save people. That's it.
Shut up. Dude, what are you talking about? When she basically that plan where she got the dragon to burn the guy after the slave owner or whatever, that was her plan. That was her plan. She told Jorah Mormont, "Don't ever fucking contradict me in front of people," and then she systematically went on to fuck over that guy. Basically, even when Jorah Mormont came to save her from the village of the Dothraki, she was the one who went in and poured the fire on those people and walked through the fire and got all of the rest of the Dothraki to worship her through that. She is the one who she's the one
powers that she was born with.
She was the one who hatched the dragon. She was the one who hatched the dragons and made the Dothraki follow her in the first place. Yes, she's a leader, so she had men who fucking were her people or whatever that she used. Just like anybody uses their chess pieces. By the way, shout out to Jorah Mormont. He was one of my favorite characters in the show.
He was good.
Well.
Yeah,
he was amazing. But apart from that, I don't know what you're talking about. Daenerys was an epic character. She was 10 times more epic than Jon Snow, bro.
She was born with the power to walk through fire. She was born with these eggs. So she didn't earn it like Jon. She didn't earn it.
Who gives a fuck if he earned it? He was boring.
That makes a good character if they earn what they get.
I can tell he has not had more epic scenes than the scene where she burns down that fucking temple and then walks out naked. He has not had a scene as epic as
the Battle of the Bastards is better because he is a human. Because he's a human and he can die. He can't just walk through fire because he was born with superpowers. He is going to fucking die like Captain America against Thanos' army for his family.
You've got a bias, bro. Better. You've got a bias, bro. You've got a captain. Look, you've got a bias. I'm sorry. That is the one scene. I was going to say, all right, fine. The one scene where he stands up with the sword with the horses. That is the one scene that Jon Snow ever got me to go, oh, yeah, like whatever. Like, that was rousing. But there was not enough of that with Jon Snow. Most of the time, Jon Snow was a really, really boring, one-dimensional character. And I usually like characters like Jon Snow a lot. And don't get me started. Daenerys with her dragons, bro. she's get to step in Jon Snow, mate. Daenerys with
Wow.
her dragons. Daenerys with her dragons was always epic, bro. When the
dragons that
dragons,
she was gifted at birth, and she had superpowers, and the only reason she had an army is because men wanted to fuck her.
Wait. When the dragons came and saved her from the fucking when the what was it, the assassins wanted to kill her or whatever,
Yeah.
and the dragons come in,
Say
fly
that,
down.
say that again, man. Say that again. When the dragons did what?
The dragons came down and wanted to save her from
And
the
save her.
assassin.
Thank you. Through the whole thing, Daenerys had help. She's had to be saved. That's Daenerys' whole story right there. Right?
Dude.
If it wasn't for her brother, she never would have got with Drago. If Drago didn't die, the eggs never would have been hatched. Somebody has to die around her. She always needs help somewhere. Someone always has to save her.
So does Jon Snow. Jon Snow always needs help and needs saving, and even
Jon Snow is human.
Even
human.
in that epic fucking dude, his sister saved him. His sister saved him from the Battle of the Bastards. His own fucking sister.
Yeah, that was a Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah, exactly. Jon Snow. He needs fucking saving from his most epic battle. He needed saving from the Night King. He couldn't even face the Night King. Dany had to come in and fucking help him with the Night King. All of her army had to come in and help him with the Night King because he couldn't get it done himself. He was not that guy. He was never that guy, bruh. And to be fair, every character in the show was like that. That they, they didn't, you never quite knew how a battle was going to go, and somewhere in between something might help them or, get them over that kind of edge. So I don't see that as a flaw in her character at all. That's just her character. That's who she was. That's who she was made to be. She has dragons. She can walk through fire. That's her situation.
Yeah,
that's
and
the situation.
Everything that she has,
she has to get helped all the time.
Everything that she has in the whole story, not to harp on Dany, but fucking Dany, her whole story, everything she has, she was born with, she was gifted because of her name, or people gave it to her because she's hot.
Jon Snow was born a bastard. Female characters.
Jon Snow was born a bastard who his mother hated him. He was put through the ringer. The world was against him. The Night Watch hated him. All he had was he's a gifted sword fighter. He earned everything that he ever got in his life. He had to make hard decisions about who to kill. Jon Snow's a far better character than Daenerys, and I love women characters. Cersei rocks.
Jon Snow, nothing.
Dude, even when Jon Snow was with a nice watch, what's the guy was trying to do? He was trying to put him back down because he kept saying, "Oh, you never worked for anything in your life." Jon Snow worked for every single thing. Yeah. He went out of his own will to go save whoever he could, regardless of what anybody else said. That's a Ned Stark. That Ned Stark mentality.
I'm gonna go do what I need to do. The whole fucking civilizations from slavery.
He only saved them because
Daenerys
he was trying to get the Iron Throne. She had a reason was to get to the Iron Throne. That was the only reason why she did it.
Yeah, I know. That's why she's such a great character, because in the end, even her altruism was overcome by what she really wanted, which was power. She was seduced by power. It's much like the story of I don't know if you guys know this, but like this story, but I'll just say it and I'll explain it to you. But it's much like the story of Animal Farm, right? Like the pigs rise above the, and then it's basically that corruption of the power, even though at first the road to hell is paved with good intentions, right? She is that ultimate character, that the road to hell is paved with good intentions, that she becomes this absolute, she's warped by her own ideas, by her own manifest destiny, that she thinks that because she's got everything she ever wanted on the way to her power, that she is destined for some greatness, and everything she thinks is right, and therefore anybody who contradicts her is worthy of fucking death. That makes sense to that.
Let's talk about that episode.
It could have been done better along the way, though.
Let's talk about that moment where she burns King's Landing. What do you think about that, JG, when she went crazy, the Mad Queen?
Well, she went crazy because Missandei what happened to her, right? You start seeing, okay, she's starting to be crazy, but there's no development up to that point. There's no that you're the mother dragon breakup chains, freer of slaves, whatever they call it. You want to burn down innocent people because you're mad. That's not Daenerys. That's not the Daenerys we've seen from seasons 1 to 7.
Yep.
We didn't see any of that. And all of a sudden, she just snaps and just, I'm going to kill everybody. Now, how many women and children are there that had nothing to do with what the Lannisters have done? They had nothing to do with it. But yeah, you want to burn down the whole city that you want to rule. Why destroy it? It makes no sense. That's why, you know why she did it? Because she had nobody in the corner talking to her down like she's had to every other season. The help she's always had. They weren't there, and she did what she wanted, and you saw what ended up happening. It was horrible. It shouldn't have been done. It was against her whole character. We didn't see that through any other season.
You did see a little bit of that in season 7.
Where?
And I agree with you. She was getting paranoid. She burnt Viserys and all of those guys. One of the things that was contradictory in the show, though, was like they were trying to make it out like Jon Snow would never do anything like that, and it was just like, but he has killed people before who dishonored. Not the stuff where she burnt all the people in the King's Landing. I'm talking about when she burnt Viserys, or what's his name again? Varys. The eunuch. They were like saying how Jon Snow would never do anything like that, but
Jon Snow would have done that. He killed followers that were plotting against him.
Yeah, exactly. And the little boy as well.
You know what? He did it with his own damn hands. He didn't look away and let his dragon do it. He put hand on blade and cut guys' heads off. Daenerys was too weak. She couldn't even do it. She couldn't even be her own executioner. Guess what Ned Stark said? If you're going to kill somebody, you do it yourself, bitch.
Exactly.
All right.
So, Nerdman, I completely agree with you about her whole psychological thing of becoming evil, but it happened in like 1.5 episodes. It didn't feel earned. It came out of nowhere, and they, instead of showing us her getting crazy, they literally told us 4 or 5 times, Targaryens are crazy. She might go crazy one day. Targaryens like fire. They kept, hey, guess what? Targaryens are crazy. Get ready for her to go crazy. And really, after everything she's been through, losing all of these people, going through all these things, getting all of these terrible things happening to her, and seeing things happen to people and who she's killed and everything, having Missandei get killed is what turns her. And all she wants, like JG said, all she wants through the whole show is to save people, is to get the Iron Throne. She gets to the point where the bells ring. She's won. She knows where Cersei is. All she has to do is go fly up and burn Cersei, burn that building down, and have everybody kneel to her. Then if they don't kneel to her, maybe then go crazy. But she literally just like, she's looking around with her fucking crazy bug eyes. I'm gonna start killing women and children. It was completely unbelievable, and it was character assassination once again. That was, and I don't even like Dany, and that was her character assassination. That should have been a whole season of development, and we got it in 1 episode. And then the fact that Jon Snow stood around, the fact that whole episode was one of the worst episodes of television I've ever seen. And
that episode, the next episode was the worst episode of television.
The brand thing might be the worst thing I've ever seen in any television show. Period.
Yeah, that was the worst thing. That was the worst thing. All right, we're gonna finish this. Unless you have any key moments to say about season 8, apart from what we've talked about already, we're gonna finish this off with a rant. I think hopefully a mutual rant about Bran the Broken.
Oh, dude, man, bro, I got so many things I haven't said, but I know we got to keep it at a certain time.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this about Jon Snow. I know you said he was boring character and all that, and he was very brooding and kind of just, I can see it. But remember, there are several things in Game of Thrones that were probably the height of Game of Thrones, right? 1 was, is he going to be resurrected? 2, is he a Targaryen? And 3, the battle with the Night King. All this happened to do with Jon Snow. Jon Snow,
dude, it wasn't. Look, it's not the guy's fault. The actor's a good actor. It's the role. I don't know. Everything with him and the Night's Watch and all of that kind of stuff, it bored the shit out of me for most of the seasons. Him and Bran's storyline always bored the shit out of me. I was much more into his brother. I thought his brother was a cooler character, much more entertaining as a character, and actually a lot more noble in a way. His dad was cooler. Do you know what I mean? Like Ned Stark, he was awesome. Like basically all of his family were cooler than him. Arya Stark was better than him. I'm sorry. I know you're gonna say that Arya Stark was cool. She was like the Batman of the show. She was awesome. Why do you hate powerful female characters? Just admit it, philosophical people.
I hate bad writing.
Oh, and you think Arya Stark was bad writing?
Yeah, the fact that her whole character arc is finding to become a faceless person, and then she doesn't use the faceless thing one time in the final season. Yeah, that's pretty bad writing. The fact that
she uses it to kill the people who killed their family.
Not in season 8. She doesn't use it one time.
Yeah, I know, but she uses it to kill the people who killed their family. So that
was in the last season. I'm talking about season 8.
Yeah, but that was an epic moment.
And guess what? The whole Arya killing the Night King thing. Do you want me to start my rant, or you want to keep going, JJ?
Yeah, go on. Arya killing the Night.
Well, I'll say something about the Night King because we've heard from the directors and writers. They wanted shock. They want to shock people. That's the reason why they did it. They wanted a shock factor. We should throw Arya in there, and he's gonna get. It made no sense at all. It just, you build up Jon Snow, you kill him, he's assassinated, he rises up. He's the prince that was promised. He links up with Daenerys. Okay, now we're gonna get it. And he's sitting there fiddling with a dragon while Arya Stark comes in with a dagger and kills the Night King. And if you notice, the other guys that were with the Night King, they all kind of look back. Night King just stood there and let it happen. This powerful being, the Night King. I'm sorry, that was horrible. But go ahead, Piickle.
So I'm gonna try to condense these explosive thoughts into a couple minutes. Arya literally, the problem with that thing, with her killing the Night King, is the fact that her whole story had nothing to do with the Night King. And I understand that people can kill people if they don't have anything to do with the story, but they were building it up so much that certain things were going to happen. And she literally heard about the Night King a couple days before this happened. Then she runs so fast past the what are they called, the White Walkers. She runs so fast that their hair goes, and then she jumps out of the darkness out of nowhere. He catches her by the throat, and instead of immediately with his superpowers going and squeezing her neck and choking her and killing her, he stares at her and watches her drop her dagger in slow motion, watches her stab himself in the stomach and fucking kill him. It was one of the dumbest deaths I've ever seen in a TV show. He did nothing. And what the fuck was Bran doing that whole battle? He works into a raven and is just flying around. That battle, the battle, we've been hearing about the long winter forever. Every season they tell the tale about the long winter. And it literally lasted a couple hours and was one of the worst battle scenes I've ever seen in any TV show. I
thought it was tense at points. I thought that episode, it was tense at points. I mean, they put a lot of effort
at points, but
they put a lot of effort.
They literally
into that, and fans shit on that much more than it deserved. I'm sorry. There was a lot of effort put into that final battle. You could see that the choreography and everything to put into it.
I literally couldn't see.
They had some bad ideas. It's true you couldn't see. That was the big problem with it. But to be fair, the battle scenes in Game of Thrones have always been a little bit muddled because of the budget. They just didn't have the budget for those battle scenes at all. But go on, carry on. I was agreeing with you.
I've never seen so much plot armor in a final battle ever. There are literally 4 or 5 different shots where Sam or Jamie or Brienne are getting swarmed with whites, and they're going ah, and then it cuts away, and it cuts back, and they're in a different location. They save these. That's the opposite of Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is about making choices and being having those choices pay off.
You reminded me of another reason I hate Jon Snow, but go on, Karen.
Okay. Choices and consequences, but in this season, Nobody has a consequence for anything, especially in this battle. They put the trebuchets, the slingshot things, in front of the soldiers. That's so stupid. You put them behind the soldiers. Melisandre sits there, and there's this epic moment where she's trying to light the fire in the trenches, and she finally does it. And it's this big thing. The whites almost get through. Then it cuts to Jon Snow on the back of a fire-breathing dragon, 20 feet from the trenches, staring at it. Why the fuck didn't you light it? Jon Snow gets to do nothing. Jorah gets to do nothing. The Hound does nothing. Jaime does nothing.
Jorah saves this Khaleesi, man.
Guess what?
Don't
You have hundreds of whites coming at him, and they're about to fight, and it cuts away. When it cuts back, he slaughtered all of them. Then 2 of them gets to stab him through the armor, which in the past seasons, when the Dothraki hit his armor, that was the point of wearing armor, is that their weapons bounce off of it. But the White Walker's ice sticks go through his armor and kill him. It was garbage.
Of course. Wait. Don't pretend that normal swords are like the fucking White Walker's ice shit, man. Obviously, they're going to go through his armor. They're different.
Ice bricks.
Yeah, but no, come on, man. That ice killed the dragon. It was like it's some magic ice, man. You can't start trying to pull that shit. Sorry, I was with you up until that point. I was totally with you up until that point, but you're going too far now.
I got a couple more points. The fan service in this season was garbage. Jon and Daenerys fucking, Jaime and Brienne fucking, the Clegane Bowl, Arya killing the Night King. And I know this was season 7.
Wait, what was the Clegane Bowl again?
The Hound versus his zombie brother.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
That was awesome,
and
man.
I know this was season 7, but I'm going to put it in here. Littlefinger, the smartest character in the whole entire show, is outwitted by the fucking Stark sisters. Get out of here. And guess what?
Wait. Are women allowed to have any kind of victories here? Is that what it is? Women aren't allowed to have victories?
Yes.
Of course they were going to outsmart fucking Littlefinger. That was one of the only good parts of season 7, was them outsmarting Littlefinger.
He's never been outsmarted by anybody ever.
Well, the reason why I was okay with that.
Littlefinger was trash from about season 2. I'm sorry. So I don't want to hear about Littlefinger.
I don't care about Littlefinger.
Look, the reason why I was okay with the Stark sisters being smart and outsmarting him was because Sansa was learning under Cersei the whole time. Exactly. The military said, "You may survive us yet." Like she's learning the whole time.
Yeah,
she's learning from what's the other guy that she was with, the one that was just the worst villain of the whole show. Learning from him, she's learning. Ramsay, she's learning all this stuff, so she's learning to be clever.
I'll tell you what the worst line in the whole show is, though. The absolute worst line in this whole fucking show from season 1 to season 8 was when Arya said she's the smartest person I know about fucking Sansa. My jaw dropped to the ground. I was like, what? So now Sansa's like this wise fucking queen all of a sudden. When the fuck did that happen? I'm sorry, I missed that part.
That's
Sansa's
what I'm saying.
The smartest person in the fucking game. That was weird. That was a weird part. But one thing I wanted to say about the plot armor, and that's the last thing I'll say. I'll just say it very, very quickly. I've hated fucking Samuel Tarly since the beginning, and that was one of the reasons I hated every single fucking second of that Night's Watch fucking plot line with Jon Snow. It not only was Jon Snow fucking boring, but at least he was entertaining when he like fought or something like that. Then you had Samuel Tarly, one of the worst, most despicable, hateful characters on all of TV history. Just there every week, I couldn't stand the guy. I really couldn't stand him. And the plot armor he had during that fucking final battle was mind-boggling. That was the only thing I was waiting for him to turn into a White Walker and Jon Snow to have to kill him. That was what I was waiting for.
That would have been a lot better than him. He was laying on the ground at one point going, stabbing whites like he's this badass fucking fighter now. Dude, it was ridiculous. And the one more thing I'll say about this is that think about, I know that we watch this show for the political drama, but come on. We also love the great gruesome deaths, okay? Can we all agree? Game of Thrones has some awesome deaths, okay?
Yeah.
fucking like guys getting chopped in half, decapitations, people's heads getting crushed like a watermelon, pieces of broken wood getting stuck in the neck, getting stabbed in the eyeball. Think about the deaths in this season. Melisandre gets beheaded, but they blur it out and we don't even see it. The Hound and the Mountain fall off a ledge. Okay, we don't even see it. Dany is stabbed in the gut and we don't even see it. Jorah gets stabbed in the chest. Littlefinger gets his throat slit. Varys is burned off screen. Theon is stabbed in the gut. Euron is stabbed in the gut. Jaime and Cersei have rocks fall on their head, and then when we see their body later, they're not even crushed. Every single death in this show was like they had to save the actor's face. Like no crazy, gruesome deaths. Did you guys notice that? All the deaths were so fucking tame. This was the opposite of Game of Thrones. This became a CW show.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I agree.
Look, final kind of word, because I do want to finish it off with my boy, my man.
Yes.
Fucking Bran the Broken.
We can talk about it, yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to finish it off with that. But I'll say this. For this Hot Takes Tuesdays, I was exaggerating a little. Okay? I'm not a lover of season 8 at all. I don't even really like it that much.
You mother
man. I knew it. He's got to be trolling. I kept saying he's got to be trolling.
But I will say I do believe it's better than season 7. I don't believe it's better than season 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1. So
definitely not seasons 1 through 4.
And I definitely don't think it's one of the worst seasons in TV history. It's just one of the most disappointing seasons in TV history. If you've watched like Dexter or other shows, there are worse endings than this. But having said all that, so good fight. Loved all your arguments. Loved the passion. But let's finish off with that fucking motherfucker, Bran the Broken. I was beside. I nearly threw my laptop. I literally was watching it like during a thing, and I was like, now I get why everyone fucking hates this season. I was like, Bran the Broken, because I missed all the spoilers and everything. And the thing about it wasn't just that it was Bran the Broken right at the end. It's that I've hated this character since the beginning. This spiteful little child who should have died in the first fucking season when this is what we all deserve. And the fact, you're right, they took us through this whole boring journey. Every time I had to like hold my eyes open just to get through his scenes. Yep. And they took us through this whole fucking journey of him learning all this spiritual bullshit, and he doesn't even use it in the final battle. He just sits there and watches people die.
He lets people die.
And then he had the best story. Tyrion was dead to me when he said that. He was dead to me as a character.
That's the worst line in the series. That's the worst line.
He had the best story. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Anyway, you go off on Bran, man. Let you guys go off on Bran.
Like I said in the beginning, he's the reason for all this shit in the first place. He didn't listen to his mom's. Bran, stop climbing. He climbs, see Jaime and Cersei doing a brother-sister fuck thing, incest thing, gets thrown off the whatever the hell that thing was. Now it starts all this mess that we get now, right? His legs are broken. He goes on this long Lord of the Rings, Sam and Frodo journey. It's like, what was the whole point of him even being the three-eyed raven? He didn't use any of his abilities. The only time you really saw it was plot armor. He goes back in time, sees his father, Ned, younger Ned, and sees Jon Snow being born, Aegon Targaryen. Other than that, I didn't see the point of his character at all. And then, season 8, here comes Jon sitting there hugging him. Oh man, my buddy, my best pal, my brother. Hello. What the fuck? Even Jon looked at him like, what the fuck? Anyway,
I know. The whole time,
he was just horrible. Then he's sitting in front of Night King, just standing there, looking at it, and then let me get to the final thing. When he's sitting there, looks at Jon, says, "You were right where you're supposed to be." What the freak is that?
I was about
What
to.
is that?
I just had a flashback to that moment when you were speaking, and I just was like,
It's like
"Oh
what? Like
God, that is
you're
the
right where you're
worst
supposed to
line.
be. It was just
That
what
was the
in the
worst line."
world? And John goes through that whole journey, and he's. Well, I guess I'll say that for the end of the rant. I'm done with Brand. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm just
go
going
on,
to
man.
piggyback off of what you guys said. He had no charisma. He didn't say anything of importance. His whole journey was a waste. They were building up his powers. He didn't use them in the end. Then, for some reason, this council of the new heads of the houses are listening to Tyrion convince them that Bran is the best. Like, suddenly, all of a sudden, now everything's good. People don't have agendas, or they don't have their own concerns or a thirst for power. They're going to listen to this Lannister that they hate, be like, you're right. We should do things differently. You're right, Tyrion. Let's vote Bran the fucking king. Then he says, I can't be the lord of anything. He tells that to one of his sisters. Then he tells Jon in the last scene that, why do you think I came all this way? You fucking piece of shit. He is a piece of He might be the worst character in the show. He says
He
that he
might be
can't
the
be
worst
lord of
character in
anything.
TV history.
So, but then he implies that he is the villain because he lets everything happen. Why do you think I came all this way? You condescending little prick. You piece of shit character. And then guess what? They say that things are going to be different this time. Like, I know Danny says let's break the will, but they also agree we're going to do things differently. But there's still a king. He still has a master of coin, a master of war. He has a council. Everything is the exact same. What's different? What did they change? What evolved? What is different except for fucking a guy in a wheelchair is the guy. And now Braun is the fucking master of coin, a guy who can't add or subtract. You're a piece of shit king and a piece of shit character. Fuck you, Bran. Jesus.
Thank you.
Why is Davos not the master of coin? Like,
I don't know.
Man.
That whole last episode was truly disgraceful. Like, up until that episode, I was like, I don't think it's as bad as people were making out. And then that last episode hit. I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding. That's exactly your thoughts. Exactly what you said was going through my mind. You piece of
that council just allowed Tyrion to just convince them, like, none of them have agendas anymore?
Like, why even listen to Tyrion? Didn't he kill your queen, your Khaleesi? It's like you should have slaughtered them both while they were in prison. I didn't understand why fucking Grey Worm is a piece of shit as well. I'm sorry, Grey Worm is a little piece of shit as well. But anyway, yeah. Of course, we're a little bit too late for this particular topic, but next week we're coming back with a hot takes. Tuesday that is going to blow everyone's mind. So next week we'll be on Philosophical Pickles channel if you ever catch this. And each week we're going to come back with a hot take. Hopefully, we'll talk about it after the stream. But
it's going to be good.
So next week we'll go to Philosophical Pickle and then catch us back here the week after for another Hot Takes Tuesday. All right, guys, you want to say goodbye?
Philosophical. This season has melted my brain. Philosophical Pickle on YouTube. Come subscribe. Come watch my videos. And if Bran the Broken is your favorite character in Game of Thrones, you need psychological help.
JG Shaolin, breaker of chains, brother of dragons. What do you have to say?
Kicking ass, taking names for a living. Man, it's like season 8 was it. It's the worst season finale I've ever seen in my life, and I'm not even low. It's just the worst. All the build up is just horrible.
Come on, it's not as bad.
It was horrible. I'm not even gonna rant anymore. My head hurts from ranting about this thing. So no YouTube channel, but it is one coming soon. I hope to bring these guys along with me. We can all dialogue and do our thing. Like, subscribe, and share. Nerdman, Philosophical Pickle, 2 great guys.
All right. Thanks, man. So, do like, comment, subscribe for more content. And obviously, I'm gonna see you on the flip side. Love you.